Hey there, Breakdown family. Welcome back. So today we're unpacking a major development out of Burkina Faso, one that could have serious implications, not just for the country itself, but for Africa's evolving position in global politics. Just days after surviving a coup attempt, the nation's revolutionary leader, Ibrahim Traoré, has signed a significant new gold mining deal. The project is called the Nayu Gold Project, located in the Plateau Central region. And the mining rights have been awarded to Nordgold, a Russian-owned company with a growing footprint across Africa. Now, this deal comes at a critical time, right? Burkina Faso, like many African nations, has been steadily realigning its foreign partnerships, moving away from traditional Western allies and building closer ties with countries like Russia. And after the recent coup attempt, some see moves like this as a part of a broader strategy to secure political and economic stability through new alliances. So today on The Breakdown, we're going to take a closer look at the details of this gold deal, what it signals about Traoré's economic priorities, and the big question everyone's quietly asking: is Captain Traoré steering Burkina Faso into a deeper strategic alliance with Russia? We're going to break it down. But before we dive in, I want to invite you to be a part of something bigger. Here at Genius TV, we're building more than just a channel. We're creating a global home for Black stories that are told with truth, with intention, and with power. And if that speaks to you, and I hope it does, hit subscribe, tap that bell, drop a super thanks, and consider joining our growing membership community where you will get exclusive videos, behind-the-scenes conversations, and the chance to be a part of the dialogue that's shaping our future. This isn't just content, it's a movement, and I'd love to connect with you there, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. All right, now let's get into it. So to really understand the weight of this moment, we need to look at what Traoré has already been doing to reclaim control over Burkina Faso's gold.
Burkina Faso's Bongo and Wagner gold mines now belong to the government. Until Tuesday, the 27th of August 2024, the Bongo and Wagner gold mines were owned by an African mining company. However, Ouagadougou has agreed a deal to nationalize the mines for around $80 million. Endeavour Mining, which agreed to sell Bongo and Wagner to Lilium last year for more than $300 million, had accused the travel of missing payment. Meanwhile, Lilium argued that London-listed Endeavour had misrepresented and hidden financial information about the mines. However, as part of Tuesday's agreement, the companies are to abandon their legal cases against each other. The nationalization follows a growing pattern of African governments, especially those under military hunters, attempting to exert greater control over their natural resources.
Over the past year, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has taken a series of bold steps to try and nationalize Burkina Faso's gold sector. In August 2024, his government nationalized two major gold mines, Bungu and Wagion, at a cost of $80 million. In November 2023, the Council of Ministers approved the construction of the country's first national gold refinery. So Burkina Faso could now process its own gold, not just export raw material. And then in February 2024, his administration suspended export permits for small-scale gold miners to crack down on illicit trade and keep more gold inside the national economy. And then again in October 2024, Traoré announced plans to review and possibly withdraw some mining permits from foreign companies altogether. He's done a lot, and all these actions tell us that this government is trying, at least publicly, to shift from simply exporting raw gold to actually controlling, processing, and benefiting from its natural resources. And that makes this new deal with Nordgold even more interesting, because it shows how Burkina Faso is trying to balance national control with strategic foreign partnerships. So now that we have that context, let's take a closer look at the deal itself. The project is called the Nayu Gold Project. It's located in Burkina Faso's Plateau Central region, specifically in Coup province. It covers about 52.8 square kilometers, a significant site for industrial gold mining. Now, the rights to develop the project have been awarded to Nordgold, a Russian-owned mining giant that already operates in Burkina Faso and across West Africa. Nordgold, through its local subsidiary Jibe Burkina, holds 85% of the project. The Burkinabe government retains 15% ownership. The project is expected to generate about $51.5 billion francs, roughly 89 million US dollars, for the state budget over the life of the mine. And additionally, about $7 billion francs will be paid into the state's mineral wealth fund. Around 204 jobs are expected to be created, 75 direct jobs and 129 indirect jobs supporting the operation. The mine is projected to produce approximately 20.22 metric tons of gold over an 8-year period. So now on paper, these numbers look promising, right? It's revenue for the government, new jobs, and another step toward developing the country's gold sector. But the structure, with Nordgold holding a large majority stake, also raises familiar questions that African nations have faced for decades. Who truly benefits most when deals like these are signed? And how much control does the host nation actually retain? Now let's talk about Nordgold. Nordgold is a privately owned gold mining company founded in 2007 with operations across Russia, Kazakhstan, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. Now, it used to be listed on the London Stock Exchange, but after facing growing scrutiny over its Russian ties, Nordgold delisted and returned to private ownership. Nordgold is majority owned by Marina Mordashova, according to UK Companies Registry. Now, her husband, Russian oligarch Alexei Mordashov, owns between 25% and 50% of the company. Previously, he held a 99.08% stake, but then transferred control of a portion of his holdings to his wife following the sanctions by the UK government for his Russian ties. He is one of Russia's wealthiest men, with an estimated net worth of $30.5 billion, according to Forbes, and someone known to have close connections to the Kremlin. Today, Nordgold controls several mining operations in West Africa, including Burkina Faso's Bisa and Boulay gold mines, both of which are among the country's top gold producers. In fact, before Nayu Gold Project even came into play, Nordgold was already a major player in Burkina Faso's mining sector. And now, with the addition of the Nayu Gold Project, they've strengthened their foothold even further. But what makes this moment important isn't just their expansion, it's the political timing. We've got to ask, is Nordgold just a private company acting independently? Or is this part of a broader ecosystem of Russian expansion across Africa, where mining deals, energy projects, and security partnerships often work hand in hand? Could this be part of a much larger story of strategic realignment? A story where Russia, not just traditional Western powers, is now positioning itself as a major player in Africa's future. And for Burkina Faso, especially after a failed coup attempt, deals like this send strong signals about who they are willing to partner with moving forward. Which brings us to an even bigger question here, my people. Is Traore sending the West a message? When you step back and look at everything together, the nationalization of foreign-owned gold mines, the construction of a national refinery to process gold at home, the suspension of small-scale gold exports to crack down on illicit flows, the reassessment of mining permits, and now a major gold partnership with a Russian company like Nordgold? It's hard to view these moves as random. They look strategic. And they raise an important question. Is Captain Ibrahim Traore sending a deliberate message to the West? A message that Burkina Faso, and perhaps by extension other parts of Africa, are no longer willing to play by the old rules. A message that the era of Western control over Africa's resources through foreign-owned companies, lopsided contracts, and political pressure is being openly challenged? Of course, we have to be clear. Russia is not operating in Africa out of pure friendship either, right? Like any major player, Russia is pursuing its own strategic and economic interest. But for many African nations, having new players at the table offers the possibility of leverage they haven't had in decades. It creates space to renegotiate old arrangements and to assert greater control over their natural wealth. And for Traore, who faces both internal and external pressures, building alliances beyond the traditional Western sphere could also be seen as a survival strategy. So whether you view these moves as bold steps towards sovereignty or as risky maneuvers that could create new dependencies, hey, one thing is clear. Burkina Faso is sending a message. And the world, they're starting to pay attention. Now, as we think about this bigger shift happening, another important question comes up. Why do countries like Burkina Faso, countries that are rich in gold, rich in resources, still end up partnering with foreign companies in the first place? Why not just mine their own gold, right? Refine it and control the entire value chain themselves is something I think about a lot. And it's a powerful question. And the answer, like most things in geopolitics, is complex. Here are a few key reasons. Number one, capital investment. Mining at an industrial scale requires massive upfront investment. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars for exploration, equipment, transportation, security, and environmental protections. Many African governments simply don't have that kind of capital on hand. And number two, technical expertise. Modern mining isn't just about digging. It involves advanced geological surveys, drilling technologies, environmental management, and highly specialized processing systems. Without these significant technical capacities, it becomes difficult to run large-scale competitive operations. And then you have infrastructure challenges, right? Mines, they need reliable electricity, roads, ports, and refineries. Many rural, resource-rich regions, like parts of Burkina Faso, they still lack the infrastructure needed to fully support independent industrial mining. So while it's easy to say, well, why not mine it themselves? The reality is that Africa has been deliberately locked into an extractive role for generations. And changing that dynamic takes more than ambition. It takes capital, technology, infrastructure, security, and political will, all moving together. And let's be honest, it's a chicken and egg problem, right? And so that's why moments like this, where African leaders like Traore are trying to renegotiate old models, are so critical. Because the real battle isn't just about gold. It's about who controls the future economy of the continent. Now, after laying all of that out, here's what I personally hope Captain Traore does with this new Nordgold deal, because it's happened, right? I hope it's not just another raw extraction project where gold is dug out of Burkina Faso soil, shipped overseas, refined elsewhere, and most of the value captured outside of Africa. No. I hope part of this new agreement, this new deal, requires Nordgold to process a significant amount of that gold right here in Burkina Faso through the new national gold refinery that Traore's government has already approved. Because if they can create value at home, if they can refine it, package it, brand it, sell finished products rather than just raw materials, it changes the entire economic equation. It means more jobs, more skills transferred, more revenue staying in the country, and more real sovereignty over the nation's wealth. In other words, it's not just about digging gold out of the ground. It's about owning the full value chain from the mine to the market. And my people, that's how you break the cycle. Not just by controlling resources, but by controlling the value that those resources create. So where do we go from here? As we've seen, this gold deal between Burkina Faso and Nordgold is about much more than mining rights. It's about control, it's about leverage, and it's about whether Africa, after centuries of extraction, can finally start capturing the full value of its own wealth. Captain Traoré has made bold moves to reclaim Burkina Faso's gold. But bold moves alone aren't enough. It's the terms of the deals, the ownership of the value chain, and the intentionality behind the partnerships that will decide whether this moment leads to real sovereignty or just a new form of dependency wearing a different face. So, my people, now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Traoré is truly building a new path for Burkina Faso's gold? One that will benefit the people? What do you think about this new deal? Let me know, honestly. Drop your thoughts in the comments. You know I'm in there with you. And trust me, this is a conversation that matters more now than ever. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell, because here at The Breakdown, we don't just follow the headlines, we break them down, we learn from them, and we challenge ourselves to demand better for Africa and for the world. And if you want to go deeper with us, consider joining our membership community or dropping a super thanks to support our channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sandra Babu-Boateng, and until next time, take care. Hey you! Thanks so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and join the family. Also, visit face2faceafrica.com for your daily news and updates on what's going on within the global Black community so you can stay informed.